Absolutely no threat of any kind. To a nation like America, there should be zero threat. At no point there should be any threat. One, people who are supposedly terrorists have less education than Americans do. They have less technology than Americans do. They have less knowledge than Americans do. How can people at this level of low intelligence pose so much a threat to people of a higher intelligence? That tells you that society has a problem. That tells you that the very people that are supposed to be protecting society are failing society. How can there's no nation in the world that has as much technology as America does. I mean, these people can see at night. They have night vision. They can see infrared through a vehicle. Even if you hide someone in a vehicle, they can see through infrared. They can see. This is how much technology this nation has. And more that we don't even know about. So, terrorism threats shouldn't be a question in America, except that the very fabric of society is polluted with these people. The very people that you're depending on to protect you are the ones that are ready to take you out. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying they've infiltrated the very fabrics of society to a point that we need God's intervention to fix things. And this is where Jesus is now coming in to fix things, because the very fabrics of society have been threatened by these people. So you go on a ghost chase, try to stop terrorists. No, the solutions are very easy. Very easy. Let me take one example. When God alerted me that there was going to be, they were going to try to do something and then fake it to be a terrorist attack from outside, I emailed a few folks about it. A few days later, we heard about a plane in Florida that what the people inside the plane stated was that there were no announcements of any turbulence. But whatever the pilot did or whatever the plane, whatever happened in the air, those people were so terrified that that they thought they were coming down, and the ceiling of the plane even tore from what they showed. Now there was an argument back and forth about uh, uh, what the pilot and the flight attendant said and what the passengers heard. There was an argument back and forth. Well, they were planning to do something with that plane, but I had emailed already a couple of folks and said um, uh, uh, possible terror threat. But what? But as I learned like that, hopefully some people went into prayer and prayed about that, and God diverted what their plan was. What they were planning to do failed. But that's a good example to show us something. We don't really know what occurs inside that plane. They claim hijackers to high people hijacked the planes on 9/11 and drove them into buildings. That's what they say. We don't know if it's true. Just like we don't know, like those passengers on that plane in Florida said one thing and the flight attendants and the pilot said another thing. We don't know what really happened in that plane. We don't know what happens in the plane. It's what they tell us. They could be telling us a lie, right? This happens all the time. Now, if we wanted to ensure that We are not being lied to. There's a very simple way to fix that. If we wanted to ensure, and if we wanted to ensure that we prevent people from hijacking planes, or we have a better way of handling it once it happens, there are easy ways to do it, right? Now, the very easy ways to do it, I'll stop there for right now. The reason I'm stopping here is because in a follow-up video, I will explain to you how this scenario that I created ties in with the recession, the economy, and what Jesus is trying to do. All these things, they tie in somehow, right? But I will go ahead and allow it here for now, and then in a later time I'll tell you how it ties in, because these are very important things that we're trying to put together. We're building a case. I'm building a case for Christ, and as I'm building that case, things will come together, okay? And as they come together, then we will realize the big picture. Once we see the big picture and see how it ties in, we'll understand that a lot of problems we face is just because we don't know God. Almost all the problems we face is just because we don't know God. We'll get it. Alright? These things will tie together. You'll see how they tie together. Alright, let me stop there for now. And we'll go from there.